Indie games are good. They spice up the gaming market.
You can connect with it more. You can connect with the developers more.
Indie games are nice, and I like to support small groups of people that are making games that they want to, telling stories that they want to. Indie games deserve some spotlight.
Indie Intel is a series here on Haptic where we talk about indie games that we think deserve some spotlight. This week we're talking about Salt and Sanctuary, which is a game that we actually had talked about previously before on the podcast. Mm-hmm. If you remember, Brett, you brought it up when we were talking about games kind of looks like were inspired by Dark Souls.
Yes, we did talk about this.
Salt and Sanctuary is a game. Salt and Sanctuary. Here is the description for it. A doomed sailor is shipwrecked on an uncharted island.
Uncharted confirmed.
In fog-shrouded valleys where grinning, mossy corpses cling to rusted arms, shambling figures begin to stir beneath crumbling, salt-worn structures. Labyrinth passageways lead to unspeakable evil, long forgotten by man. Salt and Sanctuary seamlessly combines fast, brutal, and complex 2D combat with richly developed RPG mechanics. Discover, craft, and upgrade over 600 weapons, armor pieces, spells, and items as you explore a cursed realm of forgotten cities, blood-soaked dungeons, desecrated monuments, and the fallen lords they once celebrated. It's made by Ska Studios, the award-winning indie studio behind a long list of stylistic, visceral, and brutally executed action titles that include Dishwasher Vampire Smile, The Dishwasher, Dead Samurai, and Charlie Murder.
All right, let's talk about it. So, we did a Let's Play. It's up on our channel right now.
Yeah.
That's like the first 15 minutes of the game, or so. You get it, I'm the one playing it. You didn't really mess around with it, and I get to the first boss and I die. So I'm like 20 hours into it now. I'm a lot further. I've killed about 11 to 12 bosses. I'm level 61, so I think I have a good
grasp
on Salt and Sanctuary, and I think that I want to talk about what makes it work and why I like it so much and why it is one of my favorite games this year.
Hit me with it.
All right, so first of all, Ska Studios, it's only 2 guys making this game, okay? That's just, number one, that is the most charming thing about indie studios, the size of their team. And when they create a game that is just excellent, like Axiom Verge, having only 1 or 2 guys working on it as well, it just makes the game, to me, so much more unique and so much better and more personal, okay? These 2 people made this game for you, and it's their own vision. It's only 2 of them putting their heart and soul into it, and to me, that makes the game better, okay? That's just number 1. Number 2, the game, okay, it's supposed to be like a 2D Dark Souls, and I feel like a lot of people are going to shut it down because of that, and they're going to be like, this game is bad. No, listen. This game does everything Dark Souls and Bloodborne do. Everything. There's not one mechanic, I would say, missing, aside from it being a 3D game. Not only that, it adds to it as well. Listen, there's bonfires, okay? There is, the Estus flasks. There is, you can level up your dex, your strength, your endurance, everything. Everything is there. The base, the bosses are there. The enemies are there. The way enemies respawn after you rest at a bonfire, everything from Dark Souls and Bloodborne is there, but it's better. Okay? It's better. Listen to me. When you level up, first of all, your money and your salt, are 2 different things now. Okay? So you don't have to waste your salt on buying things. You have 2 different currencies for that. And you only lose your money when you respawn. When you come back to life, the guy takes your money away. A little bit of it. That's number 1. Okay? So nothing is missing. Absolutely nothing from Bloodborne and Dark Souls is missing. But they add stuff. Like I said, the money and the souls are different. They have... I forgot. Oh. They have a skill tree system. So every time you level up now, you get a point, and you can apply that point to anything you want. So instead of it being like Bloodborne where you choose endurance and move it up 1 point, it's a whole skill tree. And it's like you can wield level 1 weapons, you can wield level 2 weapons, you can wield level 3 weapons.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So it gives you more options for your build. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're saying the leveling up isn't like the generic put a point into the skill, put a point into the skill.
Exactly. It's a whole skill tree, and you can choose what you want to do, and it's like basically some things are going to be blocked off. They're higher on the tree, right? And you can't get to those better things unless you commit to a path. So like there's certain things I want, like I want to be able to use like guns and stuff like that, right? But that might
There's guns in the game?
Yeah. that is like reserved for like an assassin. So I'd have to put my points leading up to the assassin build just to get that one thing.
That's pretty cool. It's kind of like subclassing in D&D.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you wanna build your. So right now I'm a knight, so I'm building more of like a sword build up to the top, right?
Yeah.
But then sometimes I have to tangent off to get something else that I want.
You gotta jerk off the ball.
What's going to happen is that you jerk off the ball.
Exactly, jerk off the ball.
Almost want to let this guy here jam you, and if it comes, it comes.
Then they have these brands that they add to the game, which is completely new. It's not a part of Bloodborne or Dark Souls, and they basically give you these weird abilities that let you traverse areas. So, for example, the first one you get is one that lets you, when you see these long obelisks, you can walk up to it and you go upside down, and you walk on the ceiling. And what's cool about this is, throughout the game and the whole beginning up until that point, you'll see the obelisks, but you don't know what they do.
Okay.
And you're like, what do these things do? So then what happens is you get the power, you go upside down, you're like, oh, that means if I go back to the beginning of the game where that obelisk was, I'll probably, explore and I'll find something new. Okay. So it gives you a reason to go back. These brands, these new ways to traverse, they give you a reason to go back to the first areas of the game. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So then there's one that lets you wall jump, and there's certain spots you couldn't reach before, but now you have the ability to jump off walls. And then there's one where you'll see this like cloudy object, and it looks like a platform, but you can't. You phase right through it. But then you get the brand that lets you use your torch, and it lights it up, and you can stand on it. So there's all these different mechanics that really stand out, make it stand out apart from Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and make it its own game. And I think that it's fucking amazing, and it's great. And if you don't like 2D games, at least give it a shot. It's only $17. Listen, I'm like halfway done, and I have 20 hours into the game. It's $17, okay?
It's a good deal.
It's worth it. If you like Dark Souls, if you like Bloodborne, play this game. There's Bloodborne references, there's Dark Soul references, there's Bloodborne, like, character outfits, like the hats and shit. The bosses are fucking slick looking. The weapons are slick. You can use the boss items that you kill. When you kill them, you get an item. You can take that to an alchemist, and they turn your sword into like a fucking slick sword that has like all these special abilities. It goes on and on. I think you should play this game. I'm really hyped about it. I'm really pumped about it. I like it a lot. And I think that, don't shoot me, don't kill me, but this game,
You jerk off the ball.
my palate has been cleansed, and I think that I don't really need Dark Souls 3 as soon as I wanted it, because I think that this game did a good job of holding me over. And I might not get Dark Souls 3 at launch because of this game. I think it did a good job of filling that hard, challenging Dark Souls void.
That hard, deep black hole.
Mm-hmm. So that's our indie intel. I really just wanted to talk about Salt and Sanctuary, why you should buy it. It's out already. It's already out. It's different than our other indie intels because usually we talk about games that aren't out yet. But I really thought that people need to know about this game. They need to play this game. You need to buy this game. You need to experience this game. And the narrative's not bad either, but it's not really... It's like Dark Souls where the narrative doesn't matter.
Check it out. And again, the purpose of Indie Intel is to fucking stop shills from being cucks, because indie games spice up the gaming market.